Tonight I'd like to address Mr. Obama's response to his pastor's messages and sermons. And first I want to say kudos. Well said. A good chunk of the stuff I agree with, and I'm glad you said it. I'm proud of the fact that you did mention your white parents, that you did not distance yourself from them, did not disregard them or discount them, that you did not affirm to yourself or identify yourself specifically as a black man, which is also good. Now, hopefully you can continue that and address yourself in the future as such. We'll see when you get to the history books and they decide whether you're going to call yourself a first black president or first mixed president, and what you push for. Having said that, really like that. That was good. That's what I thought you needed to do. I like the fact that you explained some of the sources of the behavior of your minister. And for that, I'm willing to give you a pass on this minister. All's forgiven on this minister's part. You've discounted his statements in a clear fashion in sufficient enough voice that those who supported his statements will be upset at you. Because you should make them upset at you. Because if they're supporting those kind of statements, they should not think of you as their candidate. Alright? You also recognize something that few in the African community have ever allowed themselves to recognize. That there's a large number of white people who are not rich, who did not benefit in any way, shape, or form from racism, whose parents came in after the Civil War, after racism, after even Jim Crow, who are irritated and angry when they're told that they owe somebody else something just simply because that other person's skin is darker than their own. And when these same white people are denied advantages and are forced to ship their kids hours along the road just so they can have the right percentages of color in one school or another, that irritates us. And I'm glad you mentioned it. I really am. But having said all these things about your speech, which was fantastic, 70 to 80% beautiful speech, I love it. It's great. That's the message I wanted to hear from you, and that really does redeem you in a lot of ways in my eyes than what I've been hearing in the media from both the left supporters of yourself and from the groups that resist you. Now, why I'm not going to vote for you. That's the 20% of your speech. And I hate to say this. One, you still play the class warfare game. You still seem to think that companies are owned by these mega rich individuals. That's not true. Companies are owned by stockholders. Most stockholders are the people with their 401ks or retirement plans. So when you hurt these companies, you hurt the stockholders. And that's something you have not gotten a clue on. Secondly, you want universal health care, which in my mind denies people freedom of choice on what doctors they want to go to, what treatments they want to get, what medications they want to get, and it denies them the freedom to choose their health care and choose what they want in their health care, and puts the government in charge of telling them what medications are going to be allowed, what treatments they're going to be allowed, which doctors they're going to be allowed to see, and what hospitals they're going to be allowed to see. You promoted education. Now this is a mixed bag. Yes, education is important. The education of our children is important. Absolutely. But that means you also have to recognize several things. One, simply throwing money at the problem does not fix it. You can have billions of dollars sent to the school. You can make the income of a teacher a $1 million job, and it will not necessarily improve the education of the children. The education of our children are improved by the quality of the teacher, not the income of the teacher. Now, income can play a role in this, but it's not the sole role. So there has to be measures to remove bad teachers and measures to improve and encourage good teachers. Schools falling apart. I'm sorry, that's an issue of taxation. I agree that schools should not be falling apart, but a lot of times the money that goes to the school system goes to the teachers and not to the schools. So the end result, you have teachers who make really good incomes, but schools that are falling apart. And the teachers' unions don't mind this. And this bothers me deeply. Another thing about your comments about education I don't like is the idea that we still have segregated schools. Yes, we have community schools. Some community schools are in primarily black communities. Some community schools are in primarily white communities. Are you promoting the idea of busing kids for 3 or 4 hours across town each day? Is that what you're promoting to create this diversity? Are you going to force people to move from one neighborhood to another? No, what you need to do is address the schools in all communities and the quality of the teachers and address those. That's another reason why I'm not going to vote for you. Third reason, you're against the war in Iraq. You want to abandon those who are our allies in Iraq that have worked with us. You want to pull out and cause the death of these allies, probably millions of them. And then you want to turn around and say, it's not my fault, when there's mounds of bodies on the streets because you pulled our troops out of Iraq. That's another reason why I'm not going to vote for you. Now, let's see, what's the other reason? That pretty much covered it. So, anyways, on the issue of race, you got an okay from me. I'm glad you made this statement. If you remain consistent with this statement and don't alter your position in the future and don't resort to calling yourself a black man all the time, then I'll consider it a consistent standard. If you see pictures of you in the future with not just your black family members, but your white relatives and your Indonesian half-sister, then I'm all for you. Good idea. Good on you, mate. And all the above. But I want to say this was a very insightful speech, and I don't think most other people would have been able to give this speech without being criticized. It may make you lose some supporters within the black community, but I got news for you. If they support you for the reasons that you're just black, then you shouldn't want their support. Thank you very much, and have a good day, and God bless you.